Good evening, welcome to the Personnel Committee meeting of the Putnam County Legislature. It's November 12th, 2024. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Legislator Castellano, would you lead us?
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Legislator Castellano.
present.
Legislator Nasarino.
Present.
Chairman Yonke.
Present. Item number 3 is acceptance of the Personnel Committee meeting minutes of September 5th, 2024. I'll make a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Item number 4 is the approval of a ratification of the Putnam County Sheriff and Putnam County Sheriff's Employees Association Collective Bargaining Agreement. I see we have our Personnel Director, Mr. Eldridge, here.
Good evening.
Is anyone here from the County Law Department?
I don't think so.
Okay.
They were the ones that forwarded it to you, but we're not directly involved.
Okay.
So, 3 out of 4. Got our third one here, third union contract. And took a little bit longer, but they, the negotiations I think were respectful and cordial. You have before you the memorandum of agreement, and it's a 5-year agreement. They had accepted the 3.5 for 2023 when that was given and offered in 2023. PBA was the only one that didn't, and that's why the PBA agreement runs from January 1st of 23 through the end of 27. So, and that's a 5-year agreement. This is a 5-year agreement, but it runs from January 1st of 24 through December 31st of 28. So the effective rates, 24, 2.75, 25 is 2.75, January 1st of 26 was a 3%. January 1st of 2027 was 1.75, with another 1.75 on July 1st of 27, and that was replicated in 2028. Those rates may seem odd, and there are occasions where we have changes that occur on January 1st and then on July 1st. The actual net effect of that during those years of 24 through the end of 27 is actually slightly less than what was given to the PBA, but there is a rollover effect because of the July 1st only applying half the year. So the 1.75 is all year. The 1.75 starting July 1st is half of that, 8.875. But there's that rollover effect into 28, and another 1.75, 1.75. Makes the effective rate in 28 3.5. If you look at the average over the 5 years, it actually comes out to slightly under 3%. So it's in the ballpark with the others. I know, having those split raises sometimes causes a little bit of confusion, but it was something that, we had bandied about some options, and they felt they would have to go with that particular option. We had a situation where the CO sergeants were, based on their rate, they don't have steps like the correction officers do. They have just one rate, and their rate was actually below a top step deputy. And I thought it was a very good argument on their part that when you have a supervisor that has the responsibility of being a supervisor, even though the jobs are different, that it was worthy to acknowledge the fact that that shouldn't be below the top step deputy. So we gave a across the board increase to bump it up. That would bring it over the, with the COLAs, would bring it over the rate of the top step deputy. Obviously, a PBA sergeant or a deputy sheriff sergeant is significantly higher. The other key things in this is the holiday pay for COs was increased to the same number that we gave PBA, which is $3,500. So that's the same as PBA. That is something that both the PBA and the PCSEA had not changed for 12 years. And we we felt that was a reasonable thing to do, and it kind of makes them even. The other thing in this contract that didn't happen in the others is moving forward, Juneteenth was being granted as an additional holiday in 2025. The other issues in this contract, or the other items of interest, really were the strengthening of the time and attendance policy, and also strengthening language where the COs do a lot of swapping. So if I swap with Amy, and then I don't show up when I'm supposed to show up for her, that really wreaks havoc on the schedule. So we strengthen the results of that, and what we can do to kind of prevent that from happening. So we did a little bit of strengthening of that, because that does wreak havoc on the schedule. I would say that you know, the negotiations were cordial. I think the leadership of the PCSEA is very good. We agree to disagree numerous times, but I think in terms of the interplay across the table was very favorable. And everybody was willing to continually work at it, particularly the language on some of the sick leave and so forth. And they can get really hung up on some of that. I think we probably spent more time talking about some of those things than some of these others, but obviously we support it. It was signed, and they did take a vote, and it was passed by the unit membership. And we ask for your approval tonight, so we can move forward with it.
Approximately how many members are in this unit, this bargaining unit?
I think it's somewhere around 60. PBA is 80, and I think they're a little bit less.
Okay. I'll open up, I think this is a great contract. The numbers look like they're, you know, really responsible on both sides. So I'm in favor
I
of
would
this.
just modify what I just said. The 60 is more the COs, and I kind of think that they're kind of the strength of this unit, but there are also some clerical people and some cooks that are also covered by this, so it's probably closer to the 80 when you take in everybody else.
Okay, the cooks they're included,
They're included in this
they're
as
part
well.
of the bargaining unit?
PCSEA,
Okay.
yes.
Any questions or discussion from the committee?
No, I just wanted to say, thank you for all your efforts. It sounds like it was a good negotiation. You guys got a fair deal for both sides. Happy to see another contract get settled.
I agree with you on that. Once again.
Legislator Nasarino.
I'm happy to see this come to fruition as PBA has, which drives me to my point in the former meeting that we had, that there was no reason to deny the sheriff a raise in the budget process, having the PBA already reach fruition, and now this soon thereafter. It's just ludicrous, and as far as I'm concerned, but I am supporting this evening.
Thank you. Legislator Elmer.
I'm in full support of this agreement, but when I reviewed it before and now, I did not see any mention of what would happen if a member chose not to accept the health plan.
There is a buyout that they have. It has not changed from what it's been in the past, so there is a buyout, but I'd say 95, 98% of the people in this bargaining unit do take the insurance.
If I may, what if an employee declines the health plan, what is the county buyout?
It's currently, I believe, about $1,000. It's not significant.
Okay, because for future, I would like to see that increased, because I believe that will save the taxpayers money. I know that a single health plan costs $17,500, and if we're just giving an employee back $1,000, very little incentive for them to refuse the plan.
What we do see that in those, and we require that they show us that they have coverage elsewhere.
I'm just looking at financially, I think
Sure,
that if
yeah,
that
yeah.
amount was increased, people who have the ability to go on a family member's plan would take it, and it would be a win-win situation.
Anyone else?
Well, just to the chair, just to speak to Legislator Elmer's point, I think that really is food for thought, and I know in the upcoming year, you're gonna discuss retiree benefits, health benefits, and I think this should be included. I know when I worked at Brewster Schools, the monies that were allocated for if you didn't take the health benefits were more than $1,000. I don't recall what they actually were, but it's such a significant savings to the county when people do not or the employer do not take health benefits, and then it sort of disproportionates the advantage to employ you if you need benefits versus me, and that might even come into negotiations when sitting at a table if somebody doesn't need the benefits, whether or not that candidate might be someone you choose because it's a savings. And I think from the perspective of the employee, that should be raised to give them at least a little bit of a even playing field across the board somewhat, or even an incentive somewhat to do so. Not that it would ever be even, because it's so expensive for employees' family plan and single plan insurance, but just that goodwill to raise the bar somewhat.
Anyone else? I'll make a motion to approve the ratification of this PCSEA agreement. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. We move on to item number 5, which is the approval of a budgetary transfer funding 2024 and 2025 salary and benefit costs pursuant to the ratified contract settlement between Putnam County and the Putnam County Sheriff's Employees Association, Inc. So this is just funding the ratification that we just approved. Any discussion on that? So I'll make a motion to approve the budgetary transfer. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. I would like to make a motion to remove agenda item number 6 from the agenda. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Item number 7 is
Chairman, can we understand why we're removing it?
we were asked by the commissioner to remove that.
Oh, with no reason?
There was a reason.
That's okay.
Diane, can you remind me, they set the money aside for next year, but they made the hire this year?
The person, I believe, was being hired in January and not.
Oh, okay, so, you're right, so they didn't need the money for the remainder of this year, they're gonna work off the 2025 budget.
Thank you.
Thank you, Michelle. Item number 7 is the approval of a financial disclosure list for the year 2025 filing, recommended by the Putnam County Personnel Officer pursuant to Code Section 55-7. I would like to make a motion to accept the revised list. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So we have a revised list that we're working off of. I'm gonna ask Personnel Director Eldridge just to come up real quick. This is something that we do on an annual basis. It's a list of those of us that need to file financial disclosures.
Yes, we had gone through this, my assistant and I had gone through this and actually thought it was up here, but it wasn't. And then it was indicated that it had been sent up today, but wasn't received, so not sure really what happened with that. But we had revised it on an annual basis, and there really was only 3 changes from what was there before. Was adding Director of Emergency Management into the list, and Director of Communications to the list in the County Exec's Office, and the Director of Mental Health. And I actually think, and we removed the Social Services Attorney because that's now a Deputy County Attorney. So the 4 changes actually.
Thank you. Any discussion from the committee?
I just have a comment. I'm not going to be here, but I do not support having the financial disclosures made public. And I know that was something that the county executive brought forward. I'm not sure if his actual disclosure form is on the website or not, but he did make some overture to say that should be open and transparent. I don't think that's necessary. And I know Legislator Elmer feels the same way about that.
Are these disclosures open to FOIL?
Yes, but they're redacted.
And if anybody ever wants it, they can FOIL it. Okay, any member of the legislature comment? Legislator Elmer?
Yeah, I've been working for months now
Yeah.
with Mr.
Waiting for an
Eldridge
answer.
on this because there's some question as to what is redacted. And one of the things that I feel very, very strongly is that information regarding family members should not appear. And we're still waiting for New York State, is that correct, to get back to
Yes,
us on
yes.
this?
The redaction that's allowed is any dependent children,
Mhm.
but you are required to indicate spouse,
Yeah,
so forth.
where a spouse or partner works and what they do, I don't believe should be public information.
Anyone else? I'm gonna make the motion to approve the financial disclosure list, the amended, or the revised list. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. Item number 8 is a request from Legislator Nasarino. She had asked that we get an update on some personnel items from our personnel director. I'm gonna turn the floor over to you if you'd like to make a motion to go into executive session. I'll sure we'll entertain that.
I would like to make a motion to go into executive session, discuss personnel matters of
Okay.
employees.
I'll second that. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We're in executive session. We're gonna move into room 316. I'm gonna ask Personnel Director Eldridge to join us. Motion to return from executive session where no action was taken. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. On the agenda, item number 9 is an FYI. It's an action report. Please review it. Item number 10 is an incident report. Please review that. Item number 11 is other business. Anybody have any other business? If not, I'll make a motion to adjourn. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.